head right now with the draft just around the corner?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of nerves, a lot of excitement. I think it's more excitement than anything, though. It's really that kind of dream moment, and it's happening before my eyes. It's been a slow week, though, leading up to the draft, for sure. It's been every single day. It feels like it's, more than 24 hours. Every day it feels like 2. So just getting ready, preparing as much as I can for this moment. But on draft day, as we know, anything can happen. So I'm just, whatever happens, happens. That's what me and my family like to say. So
give us a little roadmap. We know you're in New York City today. Know you're going to be in Dallas on Thursday, or on Wednesday, probably.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Give us a little roadmap, because we know you visited teams. Where are you going from here until actually your name is called either number 1 or number 2?
Yeah, so I'm in New York for a couple days, hanging out, making the rounds. And actually I'm here on behalf of Kay Jewelers, which has been awesome so far. And then tomorrow, actually the next day, headed out to Dallas. Hopefully I get to see some of my friends that are able to come for the draft, and then, do probably some media stuff there as well. So I'm looking forward to it, though.
I lived in L.A. briefly around the time you were getting to USC, or at least starting to take the field at USC. And a friend of ours, Colin Cowherd's been a huge fan of yours for basically since you got there. And so he had me read up a little on you at the time. People have been talking about you as a pro for how long? When was the first time people talked to you about you being a pro football player?
Probably after the Rose Bowl.
Oh, hold on. That's not before. No. I mean, in youth football, when's the first time somebody came to you and said, "I think you can make it in the NFL. I think you can play in the NFL"?
Probably youth football. I mean, just some parent coming up to me like, "Hey, you're a great player. I think one day you can play in the NFL." One of those, but
the reason I ask is you're 3 days away from the draft. So everything you've done, it's now out of your hands. There's nothing more you can do. What is your mindset right now with 96 hours till you find out where you're going?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, just really excited. But at the same time, I don't know what's going to happen. But I don't think it's really in my. Well, I know that it's not in my power at all. So I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about how I look and hugging my mom and dad before I go on stage. So.
Well, you look good, so now you don't have to worry. It's one less thing you have to worry about.
Appreciate it.
Look, this is an interesting year. You're from most people's perspective at the top of a very quarterback-heavy draft class, which is a very impressive feat. A lot of people have you going number 1. It's a lot of pressure on you, and you haven't even gotten the job yet, basically. Yeah. Are there people talking to you about how to deal with that a little bit? How to really, I don't want to say enjoy the next couple of days, but your life changes the day that they call your name. Just tell me a little bit how you're sort of tempering a little bit of that excitement.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Well, not the same thing, but it's a little bit like recruiting. I mean, you go in and everyone expects you to be the starter right away, or at least that's what people tell you. And then you go in and you're humbled right away. You're in there with a bunch of older dudes who have been there for 3 or 4 years, and you go in there expecting to play right away, and that's not the case for me, especially, redshirting and being under Cody Kessler was really awesome.
Yeah.
And then getting that opportunity that I had that next year to start and, play well. I think this whole process is just about taking advantage of every opportunity that comes my way. And I'm just planning on doing the same thing.
Nice.
Sam, 5 USC players have been the first player in the draft. Every quarterback, especially the first 4 or 5, everyone says, I should be the first player taken. Realistically, you grew up wanting to be USC's quarterback. What would it mean for you, though, to be that coveted, the 6th player in USC history, which would give them the most players taken to be that number 1 selection in the 2018 draft?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, it'd be awesome to be that number 1 pick, and with the team sitting up there with the opportunity to maybe trade up, or, the Browns, where they're sitting at right now, I think everyone has an opportunity to win in the near future. So I'd be really happy to be the number 1 pick, but at the same time, I can't worry about that, and I'm really just looking forward to being with the team that wants me.
What's the pros and cons to going to the Cleveland number 1 or staying here in New York with the Giants, Jets, either one of those 2 teams at 2-3?
Yeah, I think there's pros and cons to both. I'm not going to sit here and point them out, but there's definitely pros and cons to both of them. Yeah, I've been trained very well. Yeah.
How much of since you stopped playing has been training on stuff like that? Like how to not step in it? Because everyone wants to talk to you, and people this time of year are looking for one thing to tear someone down about, one comment or one thing. How much of that has actually been time spent on training for things like that?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of training that goes into it. I was trained really well at USC, though, with the media team there, being able to understand what goes into it and the answers that reporters are looking for, and they're really just looking for tidbits every now and then. So
let's go on the football field. What does Sam Darnold need to improve to take his game to the next level in the NFL?
I think just taking care of the ball, first of all, but then also being able to understand what a defense is trying to do to me pre-snap, and then really understanding what they're doing post-snap as well. So there's so much that goes into it, but I'm just trying to get better every single day, day in and day out.
Another follow-up, I have to ask you this. I think you're the best quarterback in this year's draft. I think you're the most ready right now to take over an NFL franchise. What do you think makes you different from the other 3 quarterbacks that are ranked, all with first-round grades?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I appreciate it. And then secondly, I think, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what I do better than all the rest of the guys. That's not for me to say. So, but I think I'm a very natural leader. And I also think that I like to give people hope in the locker room, whether it's how I play or the way that I act off the field, on and off the field. I think there's just something about me that's a little bit different.
Sam, next year at this time, you're going to be able to tell people you played in the same league with Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and the guys that came in before you and did probably exactly what you want to do, who stepped up, who were leaders on and off the field. Obviously, it's big shoes you have to step into to be the face of a franchise, which is most likely what you're going to be. Is there a guy out there that you sort of mirror your game after, who you'd love to try to follow in their footsteps a little bit with both what they do on and off the field?
I mean, on and off the field, not necessarily. I think on the field, I look at guys like Aaron Rodgers, the way that he plays, you know, but at the same time, I'm just trying to be the best me that I can be, and that's really my goal as a quarterback. But I do, you know, I watch Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Breeze, all those guys that do what they do every single Sunday, you know, Monday, Thursday. So.
What about when you were like 7 years old? Just tell me, who's the poster you had up in your room over your? You had Tom Brady.
Brady, yeah.
Yeah, because Brady's 100. So when you were 7, you had Tom Brady's photo.
Chris asked you what you need to improve on. What do you think you're best at? What do you think is your best on the field attribute?
Following my instinct and really trusting it. And I know that sometimes it gets me in a lot of trouble. You know, following that instinct, and sometimes, you know, with especially taking taking my left hand off the ball and having bad ball security, and that's something that I've been working on. But there's also a lot of plays where I do take my left hand off the ball and I throw a touchdown or I make a big first down on, or make it third and manageable. So there's a give and take to everyone's game, and I think that's just kind of mine.
What's the best piece of advice you've been given so far from either a former player or a coach or a friend or your mom? The best piece of advice you've given that has really resonated with you?
Yeah. I mean, my parents just tell me all the time to just continue to be myself. Don't change for anyone. Just be you and be comfortable in your own skin. And that's what I try to do on a daily basis.
I'm going to ask you to be GM for a second. Sam Darnold goes #1 overall. You're the GM of the next team. Who's the quarterback after you? You're off the board. Who's your first pick?
I can't answer that.
I didn't.
No, I'm not answering that one.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, I appreciate the honesty. That Have you developed relationships with any of these guys particularly?
Yeah, definitely. I knew Josh through college. You know, him being at UCLA, we had a great relationship. And then this offseason, I've become really close with Josh Allen. I actually, I had lunch with him in the Newark airport the other day, so it was really fun. And just hanging out with him and getting to know some of the guys has been awesome. So,
can you explain the relationship you have with Kay Jewler and how your mom has been involved?
Yeah, I mean, just Kay Jewler has been awesome. Getting ready for draft.
I think she's coming out. I don't want to interrupt you. I think we're going to bring her out. Yeah, she's going to join us.
There she is.
Well, hey.
Hi, how are you?
Good,
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, nice to see you. I'm Jenna.
You too.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm just so honored to meet you guys, watch you all the time.
First of all, how proud are you of this guy right here and the way he's carrying himself?
That's what I'm the most proud of.
Tell us.
I'll always tell you that he's a better man than he is a football player. He's a better son. And I'm so proud of him, and to see him come full circle in his life and follow his dreams is just the most remarkable thing. My husband and I are just like pinching
Pinching
ourselves
yourselves, of
all over the
course.
place. Yeah.
Tell us about K Jeweler and what you guys are doing with K Jeweler. I'm familiar with K Jeweler.
Yeah.
They are the official sponsor of the Hall of Fame ring. I did bring my Hall of Fame ring in. I mean,
Nice.
the number one pick in the draft don't warrant you that, but
I know,
it is
I
the
don't
road.
wanna- I don't wanna touch it.
It is the road for which
It's not like the
we
cover of
traveled
Sports
down.
Illustrated. You're okay.
So what are you guys doing with K?
Yeah, so with K Jewelers, I mean, we're just, doing a little media tour, but
Okay.
we're also, they're very kind, and we're able to get my mom, a necklace here, and getting ready for Mother's Day as well, so.
Very nice.
Isn't that
Yeah.
beautiful?
Love that. Really pretty.
So, yeah, just getting ready for Mother's Day, and also getting ready for draft day, biggest day so far in my life, and just getting ready for it.
Who's more nervous right now, you or him?
Oh, I can answer that question. I'm going to
yeah.
say you're more nervous, right? As a
And
mom.
I think so, and I think throughout the course of his career, at USC, it's just this feeling is real familiar, because every single game and every single, play, you're just
Everything's
watching.
being watched.
Everything's being
Yeah.
watched, but it's surreal. It's awesome, and he's wanted to do this since he was 6 years old. So,
Earlier than that. I
Yeah,
think,
okay.
And maybe, yeah.
so that story. He was playing soccer and like 6, and we drove by some older kids playing tackle football, Pop Warner, and he made us stop the car. He goes, wait, and it was some of our friends, out there at San Clemente High School, kids, young kids, and he said, pointed at them, and he goes, that's what I want to do.
Nice.
And so we hung up his soccer cleats,
And there it was.
went and
That's
got
the
the-
best decision you guys ever made.
Yeah, right,
That's awesome.
right there.
Congratulations.
Well,
Thank
listen,
you.
if you end up going to Cleveland, I hope you're following what the Cavs are doing right now. Like, I hope you're going to put a call into LeBron and just listen. We may actually be sharing.
Gotta
a
stick
town,
around,
so,
man.
Okay.
He got that must win last night, which was huge. So
Absolutely.
You're already analyzing basketball. You're
Thank
going to be
you so
perfect.
much, man.
appreciate
Good
it.
luck to both of
Congrats.
you.
Thanks for everything.
Much success. Looking forward to seeing you guys.
Thanks.
Thank
At
you so
K
much.
Jewelers, too. It's
Absolutely.
beautiful.
And that is beautiful. People
Thank
can't
you.
see it on TV. It is
Yeah, for all you mothers out there, our rich sons, go to K Jeweler.
Not yet.
Sam, good
Oh
luck.
no, you rich. You want to borrow some money from me? You can borrow plenty of money from me.
Enjoy the moment. Take it all in.
Yeah,
Don't let
I
it pass you by. It won't come again. So both of you.
Really nice to meet
There
you.
ain't no
guys.
bad luck.
Oh,
You
it's
can touch
so
it.
lovely
You
to
can touch
meet you.
it. You can
Thank
touch
you
it.
so much for being with us. We got so much
Yeah.
more First Things First right after this.
Thank you.
He wants it back already.
I know, right? You're like,
No.
Bigger doesn't mean stronger. Don't be defined by a weight class. Introducing the all-new Terrain, the compact SUV from GMC.